everybody, Loader for Life here, bringing guys a brand new archetype analysis. This time we were talking about one that is a old mini archetype and is getting fully fledged out later on. I believe in October. It's like October 21st, something like that. Coming out on the same day as the new ABC stuff, which we will also talk about in a future episode. Yeah, we are talking about Magnet Warriors. Now, Magnet Warriors, I like a lot. Honestly, I like these guys a lot more than ABCs. And I know I'm in the minority of that. But they play very, weirdly in how they work. But, however, they also have one of the best fusion boss monsters in the game in Superconduction Machine Emperor Magnum. And we will, of course, talk about him shortly. So, overall, this stuff, most of the stuff is not out yet. This is out, and of course the 4 original Magnet Warriors are out. But these guys and the new Field Spell and the new Trap card are not coming out until the Yugi Structure deck. And we don't know when we're getting this guy. He was, I believe, a Fee Jump promo over in Japan. I've heard rumors that he might be coming out in the Structure deck for us, kind of like how we got Silent Paladin, who was also a Fee Jump promo. But however, I don't know. You really never know what Konami's going to do. So, overall, this deck is one of the few really good Rock Earth decks out there, which is kind of sad because there's a whole bunch of them out there, and not all of them are all great. So, they have the 3 original normal monsters. They're all level 4, and they all have very different stat lines. You have the much more offensive Beta, the Magnet Warrior. Then you have Gamma, who's a bit balanced in between his offense and defense, and then you have Alpha, who's far more defensive than he is attack offensive. Overall, there's really not much to say about them. They're level 4 normals with okay stats. And then you got their fusion, and I believe he actually was a fusion monster in the anime, but he's not a fusion monster in real life, which is kind of weird, but actually really helps out because then you don't have to fuse these guys, and then you don't have to fuse these guys into this guy, and then, oh hey, this guy's just easier to summon. So you can summon out Valkyrion by tributing off these guys from your hand or field. You must tribute off one of each, and he has no other effect. other than you contribute him to summon out these guys from your hand, or sorry, just from your graveyard. So you contribute him, summon these guys, and you contribute them to summon this guy. Very odd, but also very good. I like it. So if you open all 4 of these guys, you contribute off these guys, special summon him, and oh hey, maybe offense, just pure offense, because he has a 3500 beat stick. He has 3800. He has 3850 defense. I really wish those stats were swapped. But this was back when Konami was holding on to the tradition that Earth Rock monsters should have more defense than attack. So they were holding on to that. Very silly. But however, so let's say offense isn't everything you need, so you just tribute him off, get out these guys. Hey, look at that, you kind of just did a mini pendulum summon that was roundabout, but hey, and then you just overlay and do whatever you need. Very odd plays and everything, but however, sadly, most people don't even play these guys in the newer builds of Magnet Warriors because these guys are just infinitely better. But these guys do summon these guys straight from the deck, which is very good. So, now then, let's get on to the new cards. Berserkion, the Electro-Magna Warrior. So, basically, to distinguish the Magnet Warriors from the new ones, is they put Electromagnet, they put the word Electro in front of the Magnet Warrior part. Otherwise, this would just be Alpha the Magnet Warrior, level 3 version. And you can't do that. So, we have Berserkion, the Electro-Magna Warrior. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, the Electromagnet Warrior, from your hand, field, and or graveyard. And you can banish 1 level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from your graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 Alpha, Beta, Gamma, the Electromagnetic Warrior among your banished monsters, special summon them. And he's a 3k beat stick with 2800 defense. So overall, this guy, who by the way is a level 8, these both are level 8 so you can play trade-in the deck, is infinitely better than Valkyrion. Yes, Valkyrion has more attack, but however, this guy, he can summon himself by banishing these 3 from your hand, field, and or graveyard, which is infinitely better. So then you can just Foolish Burial one of these guys, and then, oh hey, just summon out him very much easier. Not only that, but also being able to banish any level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior in your graveyard to just pop a card, and that's not once per turn. That's restricted by however many you have in your graveyard. So you're able to just banish a whole bunch and clear out your opponent's field, which is really, really, really good. And if he dies, you summon these 3 back. That is, again, really, really good. I like this card a lot. He's a very, very powerful card and just infinitely helps the deck. Then we have Delta, the Magnet Warrior. No guarantee that we are getting this guy in a structure deck. I've heard rumors, as I said before, but there's no guarantee. So, he's a 1600 by 1400 level 4 rock earth. They're all rock earth. I'm not going to bother saying that anymore. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send 1 level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish 3 level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monsters from your graveyard, except Delta the Magnet Warrior. Special summon 1 Valkyrion the Magnet Warrior from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. You can only use each effect of Delta the Magnet Warrior once per turn. So basically, you summon him, you send any Magnet Warrior to the graveyard, which helps summon out Berserkon, and then if he dies, you can banish 3 other Magnet Warriors, can't be him, and then summon Valkyrion from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. This guy would be a lot better if you could banish like other copies of Delta, but you can't even do that. You can't banish Delta at all, and that's because he's not used for the summon of either Valkyrion or Berserkon, which is kind of funny, but also kind of sad, and kind of makes me hope that we get like more Magnet Warriors that have like that go through the whole Greek alphabet. That'd be kind of cool. But I doubt that'll happen. So Delta is a really good overall card. He does help out the deck, and he helps out the Fusion Turbo build, which honestly, in my personal opinion, is the better build of the 2 builds. There's 2 different builds that like I know of that I've actually played and stuff. One of which I came up with, as far as I know of at least. There's the standard build, which is just these guys all mixed together, and it just works kind of well, but can also be bricky sometimes. And then there's the fusion-oriented build, which is all about summoning this guy, because you guys know how much I love building decks that are all about turboing out really powerful fusions, as seen with my Rainbow Neos and Destiny and Dragoon, shameless plug. So, anyways, really good card overall. He's better in the fusion build, but not so much in the standard build, I gotta say. That's just my personal opinion, though. Now we got the basic. Now we got the new, basically advanced forms of these guys. Funnily enough, they're level 3 compared to these guys being level 4, and that's actually really good because it allows you to make Gorgonic Guardian in the deck. And let me tell you, having Gorgonic Guardian along with the fusion out is stupid because your opponent can't do anything basically. Anyway, so they all share the same second effect is that you can send them to the graveyard during your opponent's turn, summon out a level 4 Magnet Warrior straight from your deck. Obviously, it's meant to summon out their older variants, but however, you can also summon Delta, which I stumbled on by accident. So, really good secondary effect. I wish you could do it during your player's turn. It'd help out a lot. Now, they all have their own effect, though, that happens when they are normal or special summon, and you can only use that effect once per turn. So for Alpha, when he's normal or special summon, you can add a level 8 Magna Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. So obviously, a Berserkon or Valkyrion. Very, very good effect, just being able to get your big boss monster and fusion pieces for the fusion. Then you have Beta, who can just grab any level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior. He can grab anybody except himself. So you can grab these 3, or this guy, or this guy. So basically, he can tutor out 6 cards. 7 if you, well, even more so if you count the fact that you can send them to the graveyard, special summon any of these guys, and this guy from your deck during your opponent's turn. And then Gamma, he's basically just a marauding captain. You normal summon him, he can summon any level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior from your hand, except another copy of himself. So overall, the new guys are infinitely better than the older ones. And I remember everybody was saying, oh, why is there even a reason to play these guys anymore? Well, partly because of Unexpected Die. They just allow for rank 4 plays, and everybody knows how infinitely better the rank 4 engine is. Like, the rank 4, not so much engine, but rank 4 pool is compared to, like, every other Xyz rank pool there is. That being said, though, these guys are infinitely better in terms of their effects, because they have effects. That being said, if we ever get, like, retrains of these guys that are level 4 that pretend to be these guys, I would be all for that. Next up, we have Magnet Reverse. This card came out in the Duels Pack Arrivals of Pharaoh. This card is kind of mediocre, in my opinion. So, quick play spell card, Magnet Reverse. Target one of your machine type or rock type monsters that cannot be normal summoned or set that is banished in your graveyard. Special summon So you can target either Valkyrion or Berseryon that's in your graveyard or banished and special summon it. The reason why I say it's kind of mediocre is that it doesn't ignore summoning conditions, so you must first special summon Berseryon. And I believe, yeah, you can't even summon Valkyrion at all because he can only be special summoned by tributing these guys from your hand or field. But you can summon Berseryon, which is like the only good positive thing, but you have to summon out Berseryon and let him die. Or get him in the graveyard some other way, like summon him, fusion into Imperial Magnum, and then like Magnet reverse him back. And that's your only real way to do it. I could see this card being better in like other decks that are like maybe like, I don't know if Kawaki Meru have any rock type or machine type guys that can't be normal summoned or set. I'm sure there's some much better targets that can't be that like than just Berseryon. Then we have the field spell. This card is downright amazing. Okay, it's a field spell, and if you control a level 4 or lower Earth Rock type monster, you can target one level 4 or lower. Level 4 or lower. I lost my train of thought. Magnet Warrior monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use that effect of it once per turn. Once per turn at the end of the damage step, and when an Earth Rock type monster you control battles an opponent's monster, but the opponent's monster is not destroyed by that battle, you can return that opponent's monster to hand. So it's a once per turn monster reborn if you control an Earth level 4 or lower Earth Rock type monster. And it's basically a Grand Mole. It turns all your dudes into Grand Moles. That is really, really good. This field spell is just amazing. I can't compliment it enough. Then we got another card that was actually released in the same set as Magnet Reverse, and that's Magnet Force. It's a trap card. This turn, monsters on the field whose original type is machine or rock are unaffected by your opponent's monster effects except their own effects. So basically, you activate this, and all of your Magnet Warriors are completely immune to your opponent's monster effects. So your opponent tries to go into like 101 or Castel or Dark Rebellion, something like that, and you're just like, lol, no. Very good card. And then we have Magnet Conversion. Honestly, one of the best trap cards I've ever seen that came out of a structure deck. So you can target up to 3 level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monsters in your graveyard, add them to your hand. So you can just add all 3 of these guys, add all 3 of these guys, or any mix of the 3, or even Delta 2. Add them to your hand. That's a +2. Like, just right there. And then during your player's turn, except the turn it was to the graveyard, blah, 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 you can banish this card from your graveyard and target one of your banished level 4 or lower Magnet Warriors, special summon it. Which, again, is super good because you banish these guys for summon a Berseryon, then you banish this card, special summon one of these guys, and then you get their effect on summon to search or special summon. Really, really, really good card. I absolutely love it. It's such a good card. And apparently it's like freaking Beta being turned into the Electromagnetic Warrior, which is interesting. And I guess Magnetic Field shows Valkyrion being turned into Berseryon. I don't really know what the heck is going on in some of these card arts. I'm just taking guesses. Now, we get into the whole reason why you would want to play this deck. Partly because of this card right over here that just lets you search out these two, so it's easier to get a hold of. Like, there's so many different ways to search out this guy's fusion materials other than just alpha. So, Superconduction Machine Empyrean Magnum is a level 10 Rock Earth Fusion, 4K by 4K. He needs Valkyrion and Berseryon as his fusion materials. Must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials and cannot be special summoned by other ways. So you can't use dudes who pretend to be fusion materials like King of the Swamp, stuff like that. Once per turn in your player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell card, trap card, or monster effect, you can negate that activation. If you do, destroy that card. If this face-up card you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior, and one Berseryon, the Electromagnetic Warrior, from your hand or deck, ignoring your summoning conditions. So, this guy is a friggin' Quasar. Like, almost verbatim. Same stats, almost same effect, and even replaces himself like Quasar. I am not joking here. Like, look at this. This guy is basically a fusion version of Quasar. He basically is a fusion version of Quasar. He has the almost exact same effects and stat. And it's a fusion. So you only need 3 cards to go into him. I mean, yeah, you only also need 3 cards to go into Quasar, but Quasar also need synchros, and those synchros need 2 monsters each at minimum, so you're putting like 9 monsters into one. Sorry, my voice is getting hoarse for some reason. So this deck has a fusion version of Quasar that you can summon multiple times, use multiple copies of their effects, and just negate everything. Not to mention you have Magnet Force, which can protect it from monster effects. Why is this deck not doing well? That is what dumbfounds me. Like, a fusion-oriented build of this guy, of this deck that turbos out this guy, and like plays triple of this and other protective spells and traps that protect this guy. I don't get it. I mean, yeah, I get it that ABCs are just infinitely better and everything, apparently, and that Dragon Buster is just like the best thing ever to grace the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But this thing, it's so easy to summon. Yes, you need polymerization, but that's a good thing, because if you had to contact fusion these two, oh my god, this guy would never, this guy would never be summoned. But because you can use Poly to summon him, and Poly is super searchable. And then not only that, but his fusion materials are super searchable. And he even replaces himself with his fusion materials if he dies. It's just so good. I don't get it. Why is this deck not doing well? I don't get it. Somebody explain it to me. Okay? Like, all you gotta do is build a turbo version that summons out this guy and you'll win. It's a 4K beat stick that your opponent can't do anything to. And you can just negate anything your opponent tries to do. Granted, though, you only get 1 negate per turn, like Quasar, but that's why you play other stuff to protect him. So, overall, I see why this deck is like, overall not as good as ABCs. Like, in ABCs, everything is, like, amazing. But granted, though, this deck is just as good as ABCs, like, in my personal opinion. But, I don't know, the masses have spoken. ABCs are infinitely better. Now, with that being said, though, will this deck do anything in the meta? I really don't know. Like, it hasn't done anything over in Japan, and I think that's because they've just been completely overshadowed by ABCs. Like, if this deck came out like a week before ABCs or like a month before ABCs, I could see it like people actually like playing it and stuff. But because everybody's so focused on ABCs because Infinity and ABC Dragon Buster, because of ABCs, I don't think anybody will play it. Even though this deck is really good. Mostly because of this guy right here, who's super searchable and just super awesome. So, I don't know. Personally, I would like to see this deck be played in, like, meta tournaments and stuff. But it's not going to happen. Everybody's focused on ABCs. Tell me what you guys think about Magnet Warriors. I really like them, if I haven't made that abundantly clear. I've been playtesting a Fusion Turbo-oriented build of this, and I can't wait for the structure deck to come out. Like, I'm buying triple of this deck and I'm buying triple of the ABC deck as soon as it comes out, basically, because I like both decks a lot. Granted, though, you may have gotten a different opinion in this video. So what are your thoughts on it, Magnet Warriors? I like this archetype a lot. They have a really powerful fusion monster. They have a really powerful boss monster. I'm not going to count Valkyrion as a boss monster. He's just there to make this guy and stuff. I like this deck a lot. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. See you all later. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and peace out.